Good evening, parents and guardians. My name is Tammy Moroney. I'm the Associate Principal for Middle School. We thought we might give you a quick video about what some of the information is regarding around Year 7 camp, because we know it's going to happen before we'll have a chance to meet you. So this is the camp pack came home yesterday, and it had our permission slips, behaviour contract, medical consent forms, a form about what to bring. It had some dietary information and requirements on there, and it also had, what sort of medication your child's taking and their dose rates or the dose amounts. So can you please, if you've not already got those back, can they really important if we can get them back tomorrow? We've had about 2/3 of our student body in Year 7 bring those back, so thank you very much for that. We greatly appreciate that. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. And these are some of the information. So we'll have all of our Year 7 teachers up on camp. We'll have a number of other teachers that are up there as well. We'll have some of our PE staff, myself and the principal, and a number of other staff will be heading up there to spend various amounts of time to get to know the young ones. Now, some of the activities that our students will be doing: treasure hunt, water bomb volleyball, orienteering, high and low ropes, team building, swimming. They get a session in the pool, which they love. There's a colour run activity, rock climbing wall, all sorts of different things. The kids are asked to do some different tasks around duty rosters, and that's something that's amazing to help our young ones build resilience. And that's one of the big differences in primary school versus middle school, sort of letting go of and letting our students have the ability to make a mistake and to fail, but we'll most certainly be there to support them. So there's definitely some chores that they're going to do while they're up there. This will be one of the forms that you will have seen, and it goes through what they need to do and bring in terms of everybody definitely needs to bring a hat. We're asking that everybody make sure they bring water bottles. They do come on Wednesday, so it's next Wednesday. They'll need to wear their PE uniform with their house shirt, that's their coloured shirt, for us heading up there. And they'll also need, if they've got a broad brim hat, that's fantastic. If they've just got the college cap, then that's more than fine as well. So that's a list of all their equipment. It's just a suggested list. We'd ask also that none of their devices come up, no phones, and definitely not their iPads as well. We'd also ask that that the kids don't bring up lollies. In the past, when students have bought lollies, it's actually brought some of ants into the dormitory, so we'd ask too that you please don't give the students lollies. Unfortunately, bless their socks, they sometimes leave them around, and it does bring in some insects and that sort of thing. So thank you for not letting them take them. This is the next part of that page, and it goes over some of the other equipment. For example, their pillow, and if they want to bring a torch, they can bring a little torch. It's quite lit from their dormitories over to where the bathrooms are, so it's not an essential item. However, some students felt that was something that they wanted to bring in the past. Again, please don't let them bring or don't pack their phones or any other devices, hair dryers, hair straighteners, those sorts of things. Some of our young ones want to bring them. Makeup, it's not something that they're going to need, nor it's not really a competition or anything along those lines. Jewellery, money, cameras, pocket knives, all those sorts of things, they're not in. You'll see the very detailed list. The behaviour and contact agreement, this is so that our students and some of our new students have an awareness of our expectations whilst we're on camp. I don't think we've ever had to send a student home, but we've most certainly had students miss out on, might have missed out on half an hour of an activity because they needed a consequence, but it's on the rarity. This is a step-by-step through of that on that document that you already have as parents, but you're most welcome to go back over it and just remind your young ones of their expectations. This is what the medical form looks like. It's obviously blown up. It's really important, if you haven't sent it in or haven't submitted it already, that they do have their Medicare number listed on that, and that's just in cases of emergency. We'll be going through all of the forms and making a list of all of our requirements of our students, and we will be going through and marking off the Medicare numbers. So if you've already handed your forms in and you don't believe you had that on there, we'll be contacting you shortly. We'll be leaving the college at 9:15 on Wednesday, and we love that you want to help and support your young ones with bringing their equipment in. But again, with building our resilience and our independence of our middle school students, we're going to ask that if you want to hop out the car and you want to give them their backpack and their bag, they're only going for 3 days, so please don't make it a giant big bag. But if you could stop at the bollards or a level with their admin and let the young ones come in, it's something that we really want to build with our students. It's great that mums and dads want to help, but part of that independence as a high school student now is being responsible for our own equipment. So by all means, give them a hug. They might want to give you a hug goodbye or a peck on the cheek or something like that, but please don't go past admin. Let them be with their peers and let them start to build that independence. So once you're out of the car park, our kids will move over to the undercovered area, and there's cones lined up, and each house has a cone in each homeroom, and so they know how to come in and what to do, and that's something we've gone through with them on a number of occasions. So they'll come in and they'll get into the right spaces for their class sets, and we'll mark off the roll. If any of them have any medication that they need to hand in, all of our students who are taking medication do need to hand it in, and there's going to be a teacher out there and they'll have a big red crate for first aid, and so their medication will come to that teacher, it'll be logged in and it'll go straight into that box. Now on Friday we'll come back and we'll be back in the car park just a little bit before 3, but we're going to ask that you please don't come over to where we're assembled, and please don't come thinking that you'll be able to pick up your child early. As you can imagine from any camp, when we come back from camp, there's equipment that we need to pack away, and we'll have a debrief with the students. We'll talk about some of the amazing things that they did up there. So the questions, some of the questions that we've had in the past, we thought we might start with those. So one of them, what happens if my child is sick? So depending on the severity of the sickness, obviously if it's a little headache and they just need a drink of water, we'd encourage them to do that. If it's something where we need to administer any medication that's out of the norm, we'd most certainly contact you. If it's a serious illness, unfortunately last year we had a couple of students with a stomach upset, and we unfortunately had to send a few kids home, so we did contact parents to come and get our students who were very sick, and they went home with the stomach bug. So if there's any injuries or anything along those lines, please we will call you. We don't contact homes for if you want to say goodnight or if the child's homesick. We've found, and I've taught for a very long time, that the moment they hear your voice, they get even more upset. It doesn't seem to settle them in any way, shape or form. So we won't be calling homes to sort of as a tuck-in night call. So please know that. And if any of our students bring phones and so forth up to camp, then they will be taken off of them and they will be popped away in a safe box, and they'll be given back to them on the Friday afternoon. Our young ones, we usually have a couple that get a little bit homesick, but we do jolly them along, and we have plenty to do up there. So they tend to more so get wrapped up in the activity that they're doing next rather than focusing on home time. They have showering facilities up there at the campsite, obviously, and the students are usually rostered through a system of some can have showers in the bathroom, some can have showers in the morning, others have showers in the evening. That's a student preference. What other questions do we normally get asked? Food, so the menus are set by the college, and our students have a variety of different options. So we have a number of students that are vegetarian, gluten-free, and lactose intolerant, those sorts of menu issues. There's alternative food for them, most certainly. There's water fountains, water eskies, and obviously a series of taps, filtered taps that students have access to, so they can always be filling up their water bottles. They have access to fresh fruit, and they'll have morning teas and afternoon teas and even some suppers while they're up there as well. So there's more than loads of food, so please don't send them with food. If your child has an issue around foods, whatever that may be, and you haven't mentioned it on your form, please contact the head of Year 7 and we'll add that to their form. I think that's about it. If you have any questions or queries, please do not hesitate to contact the head of Year 7, Mrs. Caroline Hayes. And please remember, our young ones, this is their first opportunity as a high school student, and we are trying to build that resilience and independence. Thank you.